In this video, I'm going to share what's perhaps the simplest, yet very effective personal growth methods or tools I've come across so far. I hesitated in making this video because of the simplicity of this method, but since it's been so helpful to me, I thought that it would likely help other people too. Plus, as Lao Tzu said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. So if you're like me, a bit of a personal growth junkie, and if you're on a quest to becoming the best, highest version of yourself, then I think you should give this method a try. Whether you want to become more confident or athletic or compassionate or the best parent you can be for your kid, then I think this method will help you achieve your goal and vision faster. I've named it the Personal Evolution Index Card Deck. And yes, it involves index cards. So it's a YouTuber, her name is Lefie, who inspired the idea for this method. In one of her videos, she talks about how she prefers to use index cards as reminders for her goals and life vision instead of having a vision board. Basically, she says that the cards are more discreet or subtle than having a big poster on your wall. And although I like to have a vision board, and I'll keep my vision board, I loved the idea and I started writing my goals on index cards too. Before that, I wrote my goals in a notebook or a journal, but I found that having the cards is just so much more useful because you can more easily glance at your goals by just flipping through the cards, and also you can simply take off cards or add some if your goals and life vision change. So at the beginning, I just used the cards to write down my goals and look at them often, but eventually I began to add more cards and it became one of my favorite personal growth tools ever. So now I'll share with you exactly what's on the cards and how I created my Personal Evolution Index Card Deck. So before writing on the cards, I first wrote down a description of my ideal self or the person I aspire to become. In my case, I aspire to become more like my 5D self. 5D self is a term we use in spirituality to refer to a more loving, compassionate, and peaceful version of ourselves. So that's my goal, that's my vision. But like I said earlier, you can use it to become a more confident person or live a healthier lifestyle or whatever it is that you aspire to become. So first I just wrote down a description of my 5D self, and I included details like what work I do, what do I eat, where do I live, how do I feel, my love life, social life, family life, and so on. I also wrote down things in my current life or things that I currently do that are not aligned with my 5D self. Basically, they are the things that I should stop doing. So I did both. I wrote down what I want to become and I wrote down what I should stop doing if I want to become that person. Next, you can write down the main elements you wrote in your description on index cards. Personally, I like to have a card for each aspect or each main area of my life. For example, I have a nutrition card, a work card, a how I feel card, a finance card. I like to keep things separated, and also I don't like to write too many things, too many words on each card because it's easier than when you read the card, when you flip through them, to quickly see what's on it. For example, on my nutrition card, which is my 5D self nutrition, I wrote, I only eat nutritious, unprocessed and organic food. I eat mindfully and only when I'm hungry. I eat a 100% plant-based diet. And I also add a few cards for the things that I know I must stop doing. Stop drinking alcohol, stop eating refined sugar and processed food, especially cookies and crackers in my case. Stop eating dairy and eggs, and also stop eating when I'm not hungry, for example, if I'm bored. And I just keep the cards together with a binder clip and I leave them on my desk, and 2-3 times a day I flip through the cards. I usually do it once in the morning and once in the evening, and also maybe once or twice during the day when I take like a 2-minute break from work and I just grab the cards and flip through them and then just put them back. And by doing that, I'm just constantly reminded of the things I must do or stop doing to become a better version of myself or to become my 5D self. Now, like I said, I didn't just write down my goals on the card, so let's see what else is on it. I also added a card for a good habit to start and a card for a bad habit to break. So among all the things I wrote that my 5D self and my ideal self does that I should start doing if I want to become more like this ideal version of myself, I picked one thing that I was ready or willing to commit to make a habit. And I created a card, Habit to Build, and right now my habit to build is to go to yoga or practice yoga several times per week. And I did the same thing for a bad habit I was willing or ready to break. And in this case right now, for me, it's to stop eating dessert, at least not every day. Another thing you could add to your deck are quotes that inspire you or motivate you on your personal growth journey. So I have about 10 quotes in my deck, and just reading them in the morning before starting the day makes me feel so much more motivated. It really sort of energizes me. Another thing you could add are lofty questions. Lofty questions are a more powerful alternative to affirmations, and it's something I learned from Vishen Lakhiani, who's the founder of Mind Valley. So I'll quickly explain how to create your lofty questions. So first, you can just write down affirmations that describe the person you want to become. You can write them in the present tense and first person. For example, I could say, I wake up every morning feeling vibrant, rested, and excited to start the day. Next, you just transform your affirmation into a question that begins with why. For example, why do I wake up every morning feeling so rested, vibrant, and excited to start the day? And this type of question is more powerful than an affirmation to reprogram the subconscious mind, because when you say an affirmation like I am strong and powerful, there's a good chance that there's a part of you that doesn't believe it fully. Therefore, there'll be like some sort of resistance in accepting it. But when you ask a question, there's no resistance because you're not trying to impose a statement or an idea. Plus, because it's the nature of the mind to want to solve problems, when you ask a question, your mind will automatically try to find the answer. So I have about 7 to 10 lofty questions in my deck. You could also have a card with a list of your most important values, one with your own definition of success, one with your bucket list. Basically, you can add any other relevant information that will help remind you of your goals and your life vision and of the actions you must take to accelerate your personal growth and personal evolution. This very simple tool has helped me being more focused on my goals, less easily distracted. I have less anxiety. I just feel so much better about myself. I'm more productive. It's the simplest thing I've ever tried, and one that has had some of the greatest results I've ever seen with a personal growth tool. I'm also going to link Lefie's video somewhere in the description so you can watch it if you want, because she has a different way of doing it. And if you like tools like this, I have another video that I made. It's called 5 Steps to Changing Your Identity and Upgrading Your Life. And it's an exercise that is extremely powerful. It complements this exercise, this method very well. So I'm gonna also link it somewhere on the screen and in the description below. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being here. I wish you a beautiful day, and I'll see you next week.